Hello students, lesson 4, the prodigal son. In this video I will explain this lesson. This is the lesson number 4 of reader book. See your book and try to read with me from your book. Let's start our lesson. The prodigal son. The prodigal son is a famous parable taken from the Bible. It is a parable taken from the Bible, our holy book. Parables are short, simple stories that teach a moral lesson. Parables are those stories which are short and which gives us moral lesson, good lesson. The Bible has many parables which sum up the teachings of Jesus. Bible book having many parables, many moral stories, and these explain us about the Jesus teachings and the prophets in a way that everyone can understand. Read this heartwarming tale with its message of love and forgiveness. In this story, we will learn the message of love and forgiveness. What is the meaning of love? You know, and forgiveness means forgive means दूसरे को माफ करना. That is called forgiveness. Now we start our first paragraph. A rich farmer had two sons who worked with him on his farm. One farmer is there and he has two sons and they are working in the farm. One day, the younger son said to his father, "When you die, half of everything you own will be mine." He said, after some time, when you die, you will give me half of your property, half of your possession. Give it to me now so that I can go off and have a good time. And he said, if you give me half of your property, why not now? And give it to me now so that I can enjoy my time. The father loved his sons and did not like to see either of them unhappy, because father loved both of his sons, and that's why. So he counted his money and gave half of it to his younger son, and then after counting his whole possession, whole money, he gave his half money to his younger son, small son. Here the two words are written. Prodigal means wasteful, one who spends too much money, and the second word is splendid, excellent, very impressive one. This word will come in next paragraph. A few days later, the son packed his belongings and bags of gold. Mounting his horse, he waved goodbye to his father and brother and set off. After getting his possession, his money, he sat on the horse and waved the goodbye, see you signal to his father and brother, and moved away. After traveling for many months, he reached a foreign country. After going from his village, he moved one place to another place, and after some months, he reached one unknown country, that is called foreign country, outside the country, deciding to stay there for a while. And he decided to stay there for some time. He spent some of his gold on a large and splendid house, and he spent some money to purchase some beautiful, impressive and big house. Here we can see this. The splendid means excellent and very impressive house. He spent his gold on clothes for himself and on peasants and presents for his new friends. He also purchased new clothes and also gave the present to his new friends who seemed to like him, those persons who liked him. He thought that gifts would make them like him even more. He thought that after giving the gifts to his new friends, they would become good friend of him. He invited all his new friends to his next page, to his house for feast. He invited those friends to for his house for feast, for food, which sometimes went on all night, and the party went on whole night. There was always lots of good music, good food, and dancing. Means there was a party whole night, and he spent money on that party. Spending so freely, his gold was soon over. After spending so much money to his parties, clothing, and house, his money was soon over. In less than 2 years, he had to go to moneylender, and after that, he has to purchase money or take money from moneylenders. Who are called moneylenders? Moneylenders are the person. Look here, people who lend money and take it back with interest. Who used to give the money and take it back with interest. And he went to moneylenders to take the money for more golds. Soon he had to sell off his house, and later on he also sell his house to pay his debt. His debt was there high, and that's why he had to pay the debt. That's why he took the money from the money lenders and he equalized the debt. He had to no money and nowhere to live. Now he had lost everything. He asked his friends for help, but they just laughed and called him fool. Those friends, he spent so much money, those friends did not help him at the time of emergency. Unhappy and alone, he tried to earn money to buy food. Even that condition, he had to earn the money. He tried to earn money to buy food. Even he had no money to purchase food. But there was a drought in the country, as it had not rained for months, and there was no water in the country because there was no raining for several months, even years. So there was no crop. The crops were burned by the sun, and the people were starving, and there was no food, and people were dying. He searched everywhere for work. At last, a farmer gave him the job. At last, he got the job in the farm field of looking after his herd of sheep. That job was to look after the sheep. Sheep was there, and he had to look those sheep. The only wage the farmer paid him was a small plate of food every day. The wage he got was a small amount of food per day. Sometimes he was so hungry that he ate the sheep's food to satisfy his hunger. There was so much starving in the country, and he didn't have food. That's why he also used to eat the food of animals. One day, when he was lying on the hard ground, he thought of his home and his father who loved him. One day he was thinking about his father and his village home. He remembered that his father's servants lived in comfortable houses and had plenty to eat. He also remembered his father's position in the village, the comfortable position of his servants in his father's home, and the food in his village. How many of my father's servants have more than they need? He said to himself. He talked to himself, and he said his situation of his father's servant is better than him, while here I am dying of hunger, and there is no food, and I am dying of hunger because of food. I will go back to my father and say, Father, I am no longer worthy. I am no longer worthy means no longer deserving one to be called your son. I am no longer in the situation that I called myself your son. Let me come home and be treated as of your servant. Let I come your home and treated me as your servant. He was thinking by lying on the ground. The young man stood up and set off for home, and then he decided to went back to his home in the village. It was a very different journey from one he had made 2 years before. 2 years back he had money, he had golden coins, and he also had horse. But now the journey is different. He had no horse, no money, no food. Although he was dirty now, barefoot, there is no slipper in his foot, and ragged. The clothes are not in good condition. His father recognized him from a long way off, but his father recognized when he reached the village. His father recognized him. Overjoyed, the old man ran to meet him, and by seeing his son, he was happy. His father was happy, and he ran to meet his son. Father, cried the young man, please forgive me. And he said, Father, and he was crying, and he said, please forgive me, because I am not a good son. That's why he said, please forgive me. The old man threw his arms around his son and kissed him. And what happened? Old man embraced him. He took him in his arms. Then he said to a servant, fetch my best robe for him. And he said to his servants to bring the good clothes, bring shoes for his feet and a ring for his finger. He ordered his servant to bring clothes, shoes, as well as ring for his finger. To another servant he said, we must hold a feast to celebrate this great day. And he also ordered his servant to arrange the feast so that we can celebrate, enjoy this great day, because my son came back. For my son was dead and is alive again, because he felt that the son was dead because he left his father. Now he is alive again. Now he understood the real condition, real world. He was lost and has been found. Once he was lost 2 years back, now he has been found. Invite all my friends and neighbors so that they may share my joy. Invite all of them. That evening, the elder son, who had been working in the fields, came home. That day, what happened? His elder son also came there. He asked a servant why music and song were heard from the house, and he asked the question why there is music and celebration atmosphere. When he heard that his father was celebrating his younger brother's return, he was very upset. When he heard that his father was enjoying and giving the party of his returning of his younger brother, he was upset. He told the servant to ask his father to come out to him. He told the servant to ask his father to come out to him. He said to his father to come out. His father came at once. His father left the place and came out. His father came at once and greeted his son joyfully, and he also greeted his elder son happily. Young brother has come home, he said. Come and join the feast. He said, my younger brother, your brother has come. Now enjoy the feast, enjoy the party. The elder son replied angrily, why should I? Father, I have worked faithfully for you, but you have never given me even a young goat so that I could invite my friends for meal. He said, and he argued his father that you didn't give any party, and although I was faithful, I was working with you daily, and I did not leave you, but you are celebrating of my younger brother who left you. So, and you never invited my friends also. Yet the moment my brother comes home after wasting your money and making a fool of himself, you invite everyone to a feast. No, I will not come in. And he said, this is the reason why your younger son, my younger brother, wasting money, making himself fool, and under such condition you invite the neighbors and friends. So I am not ready to come in this party. The father felt deeply sorry. After listening the words of his elder son, the father felt sorry. He understood why his elder son was so bitter and jealous. He understood the situation of his elder son and why his son was so bitter. What is the meaning of bitter? Bitter means full of anger. Why his elder son was anger? He understood that his situation and why he felt jealous to his younger brother. Then his father explained the reason. My son, he said gently, you are always with me. He said, you are always with me in my company, and I have always loved you. But please try to understand how I feel today. Now you understand what is my situation today. You are a good son. You are a good man. You are a good son. And I have no reason to fear losing you. And because of your goodness, I never felt that I lose you, as I did in the case of my younger son. The condition of your younger brother, my younger son, was different. He was lost because he was lost and has been found. Now my son, my younger son, once he was lost 2 years back. Now I have found my younger son. I have got a son back. Now my son back written here, and you a brother. I got my son back, and you also got your brother back. Forgive him. Forgive him his foolishness. You forget everything. You also forget his foolishness and welcome him back and invite him or accept him again. The elder brother understood the wisdom of his father's word. The elder brother now understand the situation of his father, and also he understood the wisdom of his father's word. Both father and son embraced each other. Now both of them agreed and accepted his younger son and went into the house to rejoice, and then they entered the feast party, and so that they enjoy the party. This is the explanation of this lesson. In the next video, I will provide you exercise, question answer, hard words, and word meaning of this lesson. Thank you.